Hello and welcome to the Tomorrow's Headlines well, I guess it's just welcome to tomorrow's headlines today instead of the tomorrow's headlines today. I am your host, Robin Cunningham with Fireside Grace Ministries, and I am happy to see you here. We have a lot to talk about, and we're kind of just going to jump right into it. Remember to like and subscribe, share with your friends, get the word out, and all of that good stuff, and let's roll the intro. Okay, so today we are going to talk about a few things. Some of this stuff has to do with deep state. Some of it has to do with aliens. Some of it is a little bit crypto related and so forth. All right, and of course we have a teaching, which I'll save for the end. So a lot of people, what I used to do is I would do a teaching and then I would do the tomorrow's headlines today, and then people would say, well, this is just clickbait. All you're doing is teaching, and then there's some headlines, and you're just doing this so that people will listen to your teaching, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, well, it's my channel. I will run the program the way that I want to run the program, and also that's not true. So anyway, one thing the Lord showed me is that we're going to start to see and hear about alien attacks on villages, cities, towns, people, and so forth. We're going to see that ramping up. Incidents like what's happened in Peru, what happened in Las Vegas back in May, and a lot more stuff like that's going to start popping up. And the Lord was saying that it's a distraction of things to come, and some of these attacks will actually be legitimate, and many will be very fake. And it's part of a plan to initiate a false interdimensional war, right? It's because these creatures are not interplanetary, they're interdimensional, but they're going to say they're from other planets, but they travel through dimensions. So that is what's going to happen. All right, now, I also saw a hand with a scalpel in it getting ready to perform surgery, and the Lord said that he is like a doctor preparing for surgery, that he's going to make precise incisions and remove things from the government that are like a sickness, an illness, infected body parts. He's going to remove them with precision. He said, yes, Donald Trump will deal a great blow to the deep state, but even in his best efforts, he will not be able to completely eradicate them. There are several members that have no record of evil things that they've done on this world, and they've been removed from society and don't exist in the eyes of the government. Those that make the calls about what is supposed to happen according to their plans and their agendas can only be stopped by God's divine intervention. So don't put all your hope and trust in Trump, in the return of Trump, right? Put your hope and trust in the Lord, because Trump is only a man and he can only do certain things. But if you want to see things get done, you got to believe that God's going to do it, and you need to pray that. Because there's people out there that don't technically exist in God's, that they've just been bred behind the scenes. They've been born and raised. They've been created to do these things, groomed to do these things, and some of them don't even live on this planet. So how do you bring those guys down? Right? That sounds stupid, but it is what it is. You got to think realistically. You know, this sounds like some sort of conspiracy stuff here, but realistically, you think about this. There is other beings out there that aren't fully human, and they are also running things behind the scenes. And they're trying to create a war for us so that they can release some information, some technology, and so they can have control. Because the easiest way to get the world to surrender their rights, as we saw from 2020, is to create some sort of global pandemic, some sort of global enemy that the world can unite against. Okay? It will soon be revealed publicly by various leaders that we do in fact have extraterrestrial origined vehicles and technology that we have been reverse engineering for decades. This will be in response to something that is taking place that appears to be an imminent threat to the security of humanity. Doesn't that sound like 2020? Doesn't it, though? And then eventually they're going to come, that'll all end, and what's going to happen is all of that will backfire on these politicians that are in on this, that are conspiring because they think that they're going to preserve humanity somehow. Because the Bible tells us those beast creatures, that they are the ones that become the kings over the world, and that the first beast creature that emerges will be the king over the entire world, and then it's split into four kingdoms, then 10 kingdoms, and then finally one kingdom. So you're going to see a total of 14 kingdoms. Just think about that. You're going to see a total of 14 kingdoms before we see the Antichrist completely take power. So the first kingdom that you see, you'll think that that's the Antichrist because the world's united as one, but it's not. You still have 13 more kingdoms to go. That'll be a good hint for when the timing of the rapture and Antichrist is coming. But I don't think it'll be very soon, but I think it'll be pretty soon, okay? Let's see. The media will begin to say that Donald Trump is trying to overturn or thwart the elections even now while he is under indictment and on trial for that very thing that he's being accused of. However, all this will serve to do is spread the information that he is sharing in court that has not been released previously. Now, back in 2021 and 2022, I already talked about this. I already talked about how all of this was going to happen, that the J6 committee would bring Trump before the panel and all of that stuff. And it's happening now. We know what the outcome is going to be because it was prophesied 2 years ago, right? So just keep praying for Trump regardless of knowing what the outcome is going to be, because we know what the outcome was going to be in 2020, and we didn't press in, we didn't persevere. We just said, well, the Lord said this through this prophet, so therefore that's the right thing to do, you know. And I'm not doubting Kim Clement. I know, you know, I've watched the things of what he says. I've versus what people say he said and what they perceived he said versus the reality of what was said. And Kim Clement was accurate and right, and we will see those things come to pass because the Lord has shown me that he won't let his fruit fall to the ground. He won't let his words fall to the ground void. All right. So you're going to see a lot of the things that he said coming to pass even now. And that's going to be very, very, well, I'm going to say soon, but that's all I can say about that. Kind of like Empire Token. People said, and this is a prophecy fulfilled here, people said, Empire Token can never get on Coinbase, blah, blah, blah. They're Binance and this, that, and the other thing. I'm like, whatever. I don't make up these things. And obviously that would show that I know nothing about crypto, because why would I, in my own intellect and knowledge, say that Empire Token was going to get on Coinbase if there was no possible way for them to do that? It wouldn't make sense. But what happened is they actually switched over from Binance blockchain to Ethereum blockchain, or whatever it is they use, and they're being listed on Coinbase. You can actually find them on Coinbase right now, and you can't buy their stuff on Coinbase right now, I don't think. I'm not sure. Somebody said something like that. But you will be able to pretty soon, I'm sure. And then, of course, 2 years ago, we prophesied that when that happened, they would grow very quickly and that they would rather rapidly reach over $1. And last week, I had said, and this is like literally a week ago, that Empire Token was going to be listed on Coinbase soon. So now they're listed on Coinbase, and their value has increased by, I think, I actually went and checked this because I wanted to see, because when it was prophecy fulfilled, I want to see to what depth. They were listed on Coinbase, and their value went up 125% in the past week. 125%. So that's a pretty big deal. So that's prophecy fulfilled, and that's like, it doesn't make sense to the logical mind, and that's how faith works. Because nobody would say, this coin that can't possibly be listed on Coinbase will be listed on Coinbase. Do you see what I'm saying? It's not logical. But I was told that I was a liar and I was false and it was a false prophecy and it could never happen and all this other stuff by many people. Even people who are Christians who have sown into our ministry said that. And now you're eating your words. Hope it's tasty. Put a little salt on it. Okay. So moving along, I'm not trying to be prideful or arrogant, but it is good vindication. It is good vindication that I'm hearing from the Lord when the impossible things happen, because nothing is impossible with God. And the sooner we learn that, the sooner we can get this ball moving, get this game on the road, right? All right. God has a plan to put a Republican into the California Senate, and we need to pray and intercede because it will be very soon, but you need to intercede now. All right? And you need to intercede that it happens quickly. But also pray for the safety of the woman who's going to be removed from that seat. And pray that, also pray that the Lord intercedes that even the state's own dirty tactics to control the elections will backfire and work against them. God can do that. Nothing is impossible for God. Okay, now, for the past couple of weeks, the Lord has been reminding me that I prophesied in 2021 that Cardano was going to go over $5. And he's been reminding me of that. And see, I said that, and I don't know when it happens. I think Cardano was up at like $2 or $3 or something like that. And then, of course, it crashed hard. But I told people, usually when I give these prophetic words where it says this is going to happen, it looks like the exact opposite thing is going to happen. And then it takes some time, and in a matter of time, it comes to pass. And so this is something that we need to pray about because the Lord was showing me that that prophetic word will come to pass, and it will come to pass very soon. That he's been positioning things right now to do that because he's initiated the wealth transfer already. So that is something that you need to pay attention to. You need to pray about that. Ask the Lord for timing. I felt like there was going to be a dip before there was a growth. Now, I don't know how far down the dip would go, but there would be a pretty big growth. And a lot of it would be like the wind taken out of the sails of people that they see that dip and think that it's just not going to happen. Then what the Lord showed me was there was a big run. I saw this graph of like something over like the course of like 6 months or something, where Cardano just all of a sudden went up like that, and then it was kind of flat like that across the top, but with its ups and downs and a couple relatively big dips, and then it was there for a while, and then all of a sudden, boom, crashed. And I don't know how far down it went after it crashed or how long it lasted after that, but it did crash nonetheless. So I would be straightforward with you on that. But what I do feel like I saw was that there was going to be a pump and dump coming. It would be a small pump and dump, bring the price up, then bring the price down, and then after that there would be a pretty big amount of growth, right? In which case, so the height of the pump and dump would be it goes down less than half of what it was, and then goes back up twice as much as it was. So if it went up to like $1, and look, I'm not giving you prices. I don't know what the prices were. I'm just telling you what I saw. It could have been $30 up for all I know. Who knows? I don't know. He didn't show me the numbers. But it went up to a certain price, and it went down about halfway, and then it went up twice as much as it was at the beginning and kind of hovered there for a while, okay? And the Lord said that it will be recovered, that Cardano will be recovered. Okay. Now, the Lord was also telling me that there are many people who have been watching this program that have been asking us to pray that have been stolen from, that their crypto wallets have been robbed, that they've been taken advantage of, or stuff like that. And many have been praying and believing for their money to be restored. And the Lord said, put your trust in Him. Put your trust in God and let Him restore your lost assets. Sow into kingdom ministries and ministers, the homeless, pregnant women, single moms, even just random people. You see, if you are in a line at a grocery store behind somebody and they're buying something, pay for their stuff. It doesn't matter if it's a pack of gum or what, or just hand them $20 and say, here's $20. I just want to give this to you and be a blessing to you. Mr. Beast does that, and he got really famous, right? So imagine if you did that as a Christian. I don't know if Mr. Beast is a Christian or not. I don't watch his stuff. I literally know nothing about him, but I know how, why he's so big, and he gives money to people. Or he gives things, monies, all kinds of things to people. So this is stuff that you can do, and if he can be blessed like that for doing that stuff, then you can be blessed also. Just think about that. So sow into people, right? And what you will see happen is your cryptos will grow out of nowhere and will make you millions. Your neighbors will bless you with money. Strangers will bless you in various ways. Your job will have bonuses and stuff. And I know that this is true because there's people who have sown into us that one person told us they feel guilty for sowing into us because when he does, he said he feels guilty because he knows he's going to be so richly blessed by it that it's just a pleasure for him to do things to help us or to sow into us financially or whatever, because he just gets overwhelmingly blessed. And we've seen that time and time again, where somebody lost money through cryptos or something. They sowed into us somehow, even when they didn't know how. And all of a sudden, $30, $40, $50,000 comes in or something, and it's just awesome. There's just great things that come from it. Okay. And then of course the Lord said, Luke 38, or I'm not sure which Luke it is, but it's verse 38. I want to say it's Luke, maybe Luke 7, maybe something, I don't remember. But it's eluding my mind. But anyway, the scripture says, "Give, and it will be given to you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, will it be put into your bosom. For with the same measure that you use, it will be measured to you." Now, what it says in Greek is, "they will put it into your bosom." And it actually uses the word kolpon. But the word for give used here is didomi. Didomi means to give or to deliver. It also means to deliver a striking blow, or to slap somebody in the face or mouth, or punch them in some way, shape, or form. So you're literally smiting somebody, to smite somebody. So when you give, you're ministering to people, and simultaneously, it also means to minister. And simultaneously, you're striking the devil and his demons right in their stupid faces. So if you ever thought to yourself, I wish I could just punch Satan. I wish I could fight him. I wish I could beat him up or knock him around a little bit. This is how you can. This is how you can. It hurts him. It hurts his demons. It's literally delivering a death kick to his teeth and kicking his teeth right down his throat. And so it's like getting into a boxing match in a ring with Satan, where he can't win. And so when you give, it literally hurts him. It literally knocks his teeth out. It makes me feel good. And we do it all the time. Boy, do we love to do it. I'm just going to remember it's basically a 5-finger death punch every time we go into this, anyway, the word for press down here means press down, but it also means to apprehend. So now we see another thing. We're delivering a striking blow, and we're apprehending the devil. We're taking a hold of the devil and his demons. So we're holding him in place and beating him. So that's pretty good. It's like a chokehold or something, or you grab him by the lapels, you grab him by the collar, and you start pummeling him. I kind of imagine like a loan shark or something, from one of those old mafia movies or whatever, where they grab the guy and they just start beating him, pin him up against the wall and just start punching him in the stomach and stuff. Where's my money? Ricardo's been looking for you, or whatever they say. And then, of course, last but not least, another word worth taking note of is the word kolpon, or bosom here. That word bosom is kolpon, which actually means pocket in Greek. See, the word for bosom is kolpos, and it's referring to a pocket. It's the upper part of the chest where a garment naturally folded into a pocket, which is where they would put their money, their valuable things, stuff they didn't want to lose. So when it says they will give into your pocket, so that doesn't put a limitation on who is giving. And then of course it's going to be given overflowing, so your pockets will literally be overflowing with what the Lord wants to bless you with. And it also is synonymous with intimacy or union. So when the disciple that Jesus loved rested his head on Jesus's bosom, or on his chest, he was putting his head right here, representing a place of intimacy. And so when we give, there's 4 things that are going on. We're apprehending the thief. We're taking a hold of him. Right? We're putting him in arrest. We're punching his teeth down his throat, beating him in the face, literally beating the light into him, beating the heavens into him instead of beating the heck out of him, because that ain't going to happen. We're going to beat heaven into him, so it hurts a little more. And we're coming into union and intimacy with God, and then we're getting paid back with the same measure with which we give, but in abundance, overflowing more than what we gave in the first place. So the only 2 things you have to do is, number 1, give, and number 2, which is equally important, is be willing and ready to receive. Now, this is a big issue with people in the body of Christ. We give, but we don't receive. We give, but we don't receive. What's that mean? That when people come up to you and say, hey, let me buy your meal, let me take you out to dinner, let me pay for your groceries, let me pay your electric bill, whatever it is, when God wants to bless you, be ready to receive. But don't tell God how he can bless you. Just let him bless you. Some random person might walk up to you and give you a $20,000 check for all you know, just because they felt like the Lord told them to. And he can do that through anybody. And we have literally seen it happen with people who have sown into our ministry. I'm not saying you have to sow into us. I'm just using real life examples that we have seen even recently in our ministry for people who have been a blessing to us. So get ready. Get ready. You don't know how the Lord's going to give to you, but he's going to give to you because it says he will. Malachi 3 says, give and he will give in that same measure, right? And it's not about tithing. It's not about this, that. I think it's literally just give what you feel is the right way to give, right? And you will see that return, and it will be greater than anything you can imagine. All right, I love you guys. Be blessed. Remember, like and subscribe, share with your friends and family, get the word out there. We would like to hit 10,000 subscribers. And if we hit 10,000 subscribers, well, y'all could do it like reasonably. We're at like 4,200 or 4,300 subscribers, but we'll come up with something awesome for y'all if we hit 10,000 subscribers in a month. So by September 9th. So 99. That's a pretty good number, right? We'll figure something out. All right. Love you guys. Be blessed and have a great day. Until next time. Bye.